Hi, I'm Zara. I'm a wheelchair user, but I love heading to the gym. To work out effectively, I use wrist straps that allow me to grip workout equipment securely. Overlooked features like wide corridors, lifts, and accessible entrances allow me to work out independently. To make gym sessions fun, sometimes I like a little challenge.
And today's challenge will be done with me. Are you ready, Zara? Okay, 1 rep. Yeah.
Oh, I just realized I can do 10.
6 now. Let's go, let's go. And 8. One more, last one. Let's go for it. Well done, it's a home run. Wonderful.
Maybe I'm gonna beat you.
Well done, well done. Now I feel the stress.
It's like you're exercising right before you have to go to Parliament.
Hopefully I can survive this, right?
All the best to you.
I'll do
Wow.
10, right?
Why are you making it look
2.
convenient?
5.
You've still got 5 more.
6.
All the best to you. The
There
last
you go,
one.
the last one. 10. Oh.
Nice.
Woo.
Careful. Hey.
It's a 10 hours break from now. Come back 10 hours later. Hello everyone, my name is Eric and with me we have Zora. Today we're going to talk about how to make sure that we can make inclusive sport more available for everybody in the community. So Zora, tell us about yourself.
I am an inclusive employment recruiter. That is what I do full time. Aside from that, I also use social media to spread awareness about people with disabilities, get Singaporeans more educated and aware about people with disabilities. And I also exercise as part of my hobby because I love being active.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your disability?
I actually became paralyzed after a car accident. I've broken my spinal cord, so everything below my neck is affected.
Right.
So I'm a quadriplegic, which means incomplete function of all 4 limbs.
What about your journey in sport? I understand that you have used exercise to really regain your strength. How has that been so far?
I love exercising because it's a huge part of who I always was. I grew up an athlete, so being active was a huge part of everything that I was. After my injury, I thought that was taken away from me, but actually it was not, because living in Singapore made that quite convenient because there's spaces for us to exercise, and that keeps me fit enough to just live the life that I want.
So we are at a public sporting facility today and you can see that clearly from the background. What are some features, inclusive features that you would like to see more of at such sporting facilities?
I strongly think that quite a lot is being done. I think it's the little things that make the bigger difference, like ramps, because I can easily enter places. For me, I need to plan everything. So when I know a place is accessible, it makes me less anxious. But in Singapore, at least, I'm calm. And I think that's what true inclusion really is. Maybe a bit more of what we could do is through human interaction. Because everyone is so careful and worried of saying the wrong thing, of doing the wrong thing.
Yes.
I think that one we could do a little bit more.
So there's almost a sense of awkwardness around interacting or being around persons with disabilities, right? So we mentioned a lot of features that are great, like ramps, but these are all hardware. But how can we make our hardware in society? And that also alludes to the point that you talked about earlier. Have you ever had an experience where you really felt, wow, that was a great inclusive experience?
Actually, when we came to exercise at the Active SG gym, I think the staff itself make a huge difference by how welcoming they are.
Right.
When you think of inclusion, you want to feel like we are included as part of the community.
Yes.
And I think that is being done well because it does not feel like I'm like a special category.
You're just another Joe and Jane that's using the
it's
gym.
like who wants to always be stared at? Like maybe you're having a tiring day and you just want to be yourself in a
In your own
gym, doing
zone.
your exercise in your own zone.
Right.
I think that always stands out for me more than the ramps itself.
Last year, we launched the Disability Sport Master Plan. You have been a big part of that. And how did you first learn about the engagement sessions of the DSMP?
I decided to join in because sports was always a huge part of like who I am. I felt like course, was spoken so much about when it comes to professional athletes. But for me, as just a regular person from society, it was always important to be a part of these conversations.
Going into those conversations, did you feel that there were some needs or challenges that you wanted to highlight?
I did want to highlight the importance of how there are so many people with disabilities who may not be professional athletes, but who love to exercise, to be active,
Yes.
or who just love to put themselves out there, play a sport. It was important for me to be a part of the conversation, just to highlight that disabled people are a part of society, and we love to be part of conversations which talk about healthy living, because you can be disabled, but you can also be still very much active. And that was very important for me to highlight, because I'm living the life that I do because I'm active, and I lead an active lifestyle because I exercise.
Yes, and persons with disabilities too can enjoy sports with their fellow mates in sports. So what are some of the other common challenges or ideas that you heard during the engagement sessions?
Integration of persons with disabilities within communities, within neighborhoods, because that's the only way you can get everyone to be a bit more educated, a bit more mindful on how to get along with people with disabilities. The only way to understand what someone else is going through is by being able to physically communicate with them and interact with them. And I'm glad to be a part of conversations where people are aware that this is an issue that we can do so much more about.
And it's not always just about helping, it's about also walking in the shoes of. Did you learn anything from those sessions?
I definitely picked up the fact that community is very important. And it was not just people with disabilities. There were people from like special needs schools, the teachers, and so many people who are just happy to be there to contribute in any way that they can to promote inclusion. And I think something that really stood out to me was the fact that there are so many allies who are coming together to see how they can bring the inclusion narrative forward in the right way, in a more fruitful manner.
Right, so all hands on deck, that really brings to mind a mantra, nothing for us without us. But it also takes larger society to be involved, to be also part of this journey in making Singapore more inclusive. At any point in time, being part of those engagement sessions, have you realized that actually you were part of policy making in the progress?
Yes, definitely. And this was something I always spoke about, that if you really want to see change, you need to also hear from people with disabilities, because we get to share what we want to see in society. That's quite powerful, because it only gets better from here. And I think it feels nice to be included in the policy making.
And what are your thoughts about the Disability Sport Master Plan? This time around, where we announced 10 strategic moves across 3 areas of accessibility, awareness, as well as empowering aspirations.
I think it's very positive. This master plan is going to do so much for the community, because we are taking into consideration accessibility, community, and so many different aspects of just everyday living. I've lived with a disability for 7 years. 7 years ago, I was not the happiest, but now I think I'm so much more active out there in the community. And actually, I'm finally getting to see a lot of other people in the community, just in regular places like being involved in sports and more fun activities. Getting to see that is already a success. So it means the policies that we are making and the steps that we are taking are towards the right direction.
That's wonderful. So true inclusion, where everybody gets involved in the same sport at the same time, I think that's really very important. So thank you very much, Zora, for taking the lead in being a powerful community voice in policy making. For more opportunities to partner the government and to give back to the community, reach out to the Singapore Government Partnerships Office.